Okay, I hope we are online today. I will check sound and then begin. First of all, it's just my first try experiment with giving portfolio reviews, and let's see how it goes. And for sure, I will slightly later I will do a more prepared version, a cut version. But now I want to try to stream from the start, like everything all together. Quite brave from my thoughts, but even so, I decided to go like not maybe all in, but everything at once. Yeah, from first try. First of all, I needed to check. I'm checking sound right now and continue. Yeah, I like it overall. Yeah, we are online. Yeah, we are live, and so on. So let me double check how sharp the image is. Maybe I need. Okay. Now it looks much better in my opinion. Okay, so okay, some stuff, whatever. Okay, close out of that. So hello, um, it's my first time here. So I'm Kavsan. Um, I'm art director, artist, spine animator. So it's mostly 2D animation for mobile games and slots. My career was mostly in slot games. So as I got a lot of guys who want to get in, like artists and animators, I found out that it's easy to fix some stuff, not only in slots, overall in your portfolio, in some of art, as we work with art is composition, color, everything the same. I mean, it has some small things, but overall, I found out that I can help a lot with guys, uh, any of those. I mean, I worked with beginners, I worked with pros, all of them can be better. I mean, it's not because they're bad or something, but each stuff, it's not about personality, it's about each stuff when you try very hard, you starting to miss some things from time to time. You need somebody to point you where you can be perfect or like near perfect. Of course, nobody is perfect, but what if 1% I can help you to be better uh, with YouTube? Why not? So it's I will use these videos to help my guys and help you for sure. Maybe more people will be able to get in. So I'm trying to inspire you, me, other people, and let's help this world to be better in is this small way which we can. So please like and subscribe, and I guess we can start. So first of all, what I want to think of is how it's not easy to share your work. I mean, overall, when you just working with the professionals or whatever, you used to show something stuff and getting a normal feedback. Feedback is not always like very to the detail. Sometimes it just when I heard from artists that they had like feedback, just make it better. And that's what I would try to skip and don't use for sure. So it's not about the better, it's about exactly think what you can do better. It's I will point on the real tools which you make better, the ways how to make something looks what you need as, so the goal of the artwork. And of course we will need to be brave. So of course if you so it's more about the guys who will share their artwork. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you, in some reason, you will feel uncomfortable, please. I won't say sorry. I would just say I'm doing what as best as possible to just make you 1%, one of your artworks or maybe more, as I feel personally. It's because you are great. You're already great, but I feel like I can help you. That's what we're doing here. Uh, that's it. I think we can start overviewing. I have a Photoshop open, and let me open the artwork which we will overview today. just a few minutes. And as I said, I will cut some stuff slightly later, and so you won't see, you won't even hear this part of talk, I guess. I closed the tab. So yeah. So let's go to this view. Okay, today we have Ravi Arts shared us his great portfolio, and we will, me, not we, uh, and I will find all the ways how I see it can be better and what for. Because, for example, if you're going to the theater or for animation, for example, he's artist, yeah, but what if he want to share this with animator or video studio? Then it should be a bit different style of things inside. So I'm talking about goals which you want to reach showing it somebody, or also we will get a bit more insight to get more in some stuff which is obvious to me, so I'm sure that it will help him in future. So first of all, thank you for sharing once more, Ravi Arts, and let's start. What we see here, so first impression, what is my first feeling? My very nice. It's white underneath it, and I see a lot of works from the start. So it's cool. It gives me impression that he has a lot of stuff to show, and he has kind of experienced it. It's not always like that. It's maybe not the even best way to share everything what you have. So what I would start from the start is what is your goal. If you want to share level of CG art of uh, or your, and this we will cut, uh, fine arts. Sorry, sorry. Or we will cut, and I'm just will remember the word forever. Fine arts. So it's about the pencils and etc. So when I'm scrolling down, I will try to find something new here, and suddenly I see again something from CG, maybe some old works. So some stuff I would skip it. I would just not just skip it. I would hide it from for some reason. So if you feel that you wasn't good or no, for example, some sketch practice or something, it's better to have a special folder if I want to find your sketches. So for sure, I would hide the sketches at first. And for example, if I'm not interested really in portraits, it's better to get them together, especially if it's fine arts, if it's some kind of, so group it by the theme, because I don't want to spare too much time going lower. Oh, and of course, I couldn't miss slot games. So for sure, if you have few of those, they should be together. And it's like about logic. When art director goes into your portfolio, we don't have that much time, because we have, sometimes I had hundreds of guys who wanted to work with in studio. So of course it's good that I have helpers, and not all the portfolios come straight to me, so it has some filter. But even so, now right now I have this portfolio, for example, so I would like to save time of me to get just in the main. So for sure the first ones should be there. But as you saw, I wanted to check all the way. What if I will find something? That's how I usually work. It's personal. It's personal. I go inside and make a scroll. That's the thing how I work. And then I come back into the most what I liked more or less, more to what we need in studio right now, up to what project you are in. Uh, so I will go from let's go straight to the main one which we have here. Okay, we have here the how from the sketch to great and lovely kitty leopard. It's so my first impression, absolutely good. I will tell this each time, and it's good because up to what we need, up to style what we are looking for, and then I will not what I usually look for. For cartoonish, it would be amazing if we need like more casual styles. It fits to me, and main part I will try just to how to make it better. So in my series I will try always to skip the thing oh it's not good, it's or something like that. So it's always like very good, because I saw a lot of studios and etc which this will be the top quality, or it will be like fits. It's enough just to fit the studio. It shouldn't be perfect. It should just, aha, I see how he works with color. I see his posture or her, and it's more than enough to hire. So I'm sure that each portfolio have its client. So, and we here we will, I repeat it, we work with, okay, but how make it even better? How to make it even better? So for this, I have to say sorry, and we need to go to Photoshop. Let's go. Yeah, I worked a bit with the banner, so I just want to go on with this one. And let's draw a bit. So first of all, my first impression was, okay, uh, isn't it too bright overall? Everything is, I have like, if we go to minimum, we have kind of bright stuff here, here, here. So first of all, I usually do what is breaking my sight, breaking my focus on main. What is main actually here? Let's point it out. Oops. Okay, let's point it out. So first of all, I want to see its face, right? Let's make a new screen. I'm for now. I will just draw with the mouse, and then I will go back to Wacom to my thing. So okay, we have face and the book. This is the most interesting. Then what we want to show? As I see by brightness, for sure we want to show the magic of the scepter and potion bottle. It's so. Let's say maybe you have, if you have different opinion, it's fine, it's absolutely fine, and it's important that I'm like looking what can be shown to a client in a better way. But if we want to show, for example, I don't know, fit, and then we want to show a scepter because it's more important for marketing team or something, we will review it, of course. But in my opinion, as we are presenting a character, we need to focus on main thing, because face and dice is most important. So let's go with face and book because it's the most interesting to me. Then we will go to scepter as a weapon, as a magic, and by the saturation we have here a dynamic bottle. And for some reason, as you see, so it's a first, this will be the second, let's say the second, and third will be, so three points of view. It can be more, but it's we should prioritize something, right? So and suddenly after I did this, if we go even first of all, what we see is white on black or black on white is silhouette, and something should be also made focus by brightness. So what is bright? When we have a lightning in our eyes, it's first what goes into my eye. So for sure, it's this thing is make it bright, but it should a bit loosey to our face. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Let's keep it for now. But we will stay with this. For now, it works like the one of the brightest part. So for us, it works at the main thing now a bit, because it's a lantern, right? Let's see. Let's remember about that, right? And what I would check by this. Here we have it like it's very nice that as you see the artist make it slightly darker than the face because face is in the light. So after this, I just want to check where is the shadow. Where is the shadow? So if we have lighting options, we need to double check how shadows goes. So I would help a bit with the shadows more lower because we have light here, right? It goes from here a bit. I would make it a bit more light in here. It can be more bluish there. So it's good. It's already here, but some stuff I would make it not brighter, but maybe more bluish. So of course we can waste more time on details, but I want to point out about coloristic because it's just super black. If you want to use super black, it's always better to make it on the face if you want to focus it, right? So the thing here is color. The obvious part I already showed. We have something like blue, so the shadow can be kind of warmer, but maybe something near these. Maybe not that cold, just in the shadows. So, and we can go on after this. So careful with grays. I mean, it's always better to give some color. Of course, you will steal it from the main part, but just doing slight colors on the edges of your shadow and not giving all black what you have here can help this work, I'm sure. So you always can, if you feel that you oversaturated shadows, it's always an option. Of course, references will help you a lot, but for now it's like main part which I found out. So it will give coloristics a bit to you, and what is important, it's when you have a lot of black everywhere. For example, I'll make it dark just here or something like black. It will make too much contrast than here, so for some reason we will want to make a focus here. That's easiest part what we can do now. Okay, then a bit about composition of object. It's I will go on not by the what is most important or not. I just see the work, I see how to make it right now, and what makes my eye feel uncomfortable. Let's see this area, and let's see this area. We can present it in a better way if we give you user understanding what is backwards and what is before. So what the layering, right? Order, draw order. So in this situation, personally, I like hat quite more because it's what we want to present, right? It's face. So I would make it even further like here. But from what I see, artists want to make it slightly, because we have hand like into the user, so we want the head be behind. Okay, why not? Then we don't need to make it so bright. But we need to make it more obvious, not because when it will be small, if we will skip it, this part is make noise. It's make not clear. So slightly making it right layering, right silhouette, white on black, black on white, make clearer and better reading. So user won't see like noise. That's it. It will your artwork will work more clearer and faster. And I see it all the time. So I'm sure that that is one of the things which make all your artworks quite better. See, again, and we have very beautiful this part. But if you would just see that, I mean, or just blur it, I mean, it's also it's not even that important. Of course, by the way, about the sharpness. It's also about the goal, how we make it sharper. But okay, it's kind of okay. But I also would a bit make it not that dark, here. I mean, no need to blur everything like depth map for sure, but contrast or make it like 3 pixels blurry. It make your main silhouette, because it's funny, but let's see. This part, it's more about comparison. Just compare this silhouette to sharpness of these. What is most if you don't do I mean, if you don't want this your character to pop up, then your underground background will pop up more than your character. You don't need it for sure. So it's more, if you didn't do this, for example, if you just make it it's fine. So, and it's how you make a more pop-up stuff. So it's also about sharpness and more blurry. What it will, so more close to stuff, more close where you want to focus is will be sharper. It's obvious stuff, but it's exactly what can help you. So, and let's make back about the what is above. I will just so I don't want to be here because artwork is more than finished to me, and but even so, I would make a bit of stuff to make it more, to make some things look clearer. And now what we have here now is a bit what we want to, how much we want to present, because if we have light here, there should be shadows, so we can make it also more visible from time to time. So, and I don't want to be here too much because it's a lot of art, a lot hard work there, and obviously it's really nice stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure about video right now. Is it working? Are we live? Okay, okay, we are live. So shadows, yeah. To me, it's a bit. Everything is similar. We have too much similar colors. I mean, in a way of lightning, in a way, for example, this stroke is the same by light is this stroke, but this had a lightning from the book. So altogether, it makes everything same color. It's not there always good. And by the way, for example, if we're working with the backgrounds, of course you might draw it separately, and make background later, but then it's not works that way because it shouldn't be the same blue here and here. It just can't be. It should have ambience. So and here we go, saturation. Here we goes to saturation. It can't be the same saturated, same color. That's how artwork overall. It shouldn't be the same. So, and by saturation, I also mean about how we focus eyesight. The same with green. This is very beautiful, and this is very beautiful. And we have a book. What is more important? It's more now we talk about design a bit. What is more important in a design? If you want to skip a book, so it just hold in, and we want this part, I wouldn't even do then. I wouldn't recommend to use a like too much magical book, because otherwise, if we not prioritize this, I would make it simpler, not that bright. Just make it slightly less brighter and not the same saturation as this bottle. It will help you a lot, because otherwise it's still green, see, but the brightness, see. So for now, going to black and white. So actually a lot of people see black and white, but it's not the point. It's point about how we can better see what is in focus of the user. Even saturation will help us a bit. I mean, coloring also has its very much involved in focusing. But for sure, as I said before, remember, focusing is on light. So if you do something bright, you should do it interesting. Otherwise, it will be sun, which makes everything focus on the sun, but you can't look at sun too long. So to make it not so you need to make some particles here if you want to make it interesting. That's how you do it in a book. It's nice. So I would refer here to do some magic, to do some magic here. So otherwise it's boring. You want to if you want to show magic, you must to show physics. It's always where. Otherwise it's lantern. It's or a planet there, right? So uh, so making magic makes you to show it to a user. Otherwise it will be boring, and maybe it's better to show just face and the posture. So making back uh, just few stuff. We can make it really simple, not too much, maybe, or maybe too much and make it really something interesting which will point us back, which makes us, because we already have this line. Yeah, we already have this line. We want to show how good this artist is. I mean, not artist, sorry, the character. Artists are perfect. uh, so we want to point it out. We want to point it. Everything should follow like some lines, right? So let's play what we have. What with lines we have? We have this line, right? Why not? We have this powerful here, and it's nothing is point us back. I mean, it's almost separate. So we can make it with the rhythm. So from big to smaller and smaller, which makes us follow back. So we can control eyesight of our art director, which decided to uh, look at our art for some reason, right? So let's point him. Okay, guy, you're here, and if you're okay with looking at my magic. I don't know. I have some lag for now because maybe because of. Okay. Okay. Maybe so. I just was thinking if it's a fox, we can make it like tails or something. But sorry. I don't want to make it new ideas here. I just want to give some details to show that some details make it interesting. But even so, I would make it slightly darker. Make it more details. We are coming to over brightness. If you do over bright, we will lose a lot of details. So, and even multiply won't help us, as you see. It's not helping us that much as possible. So we need to get into like really not bright or better contrast, but not making it bright really. So I want to make it even darker, slightly, on this side. So we still need to control how much and where I want to show the maximum brightness. And of course, to make a sphere, even bright sphere need its volume. So we still, even in over brightness, even in bright sphere as a moon, we still need to, if you want, of course, but we still want to show the volume, the sphere. Otherwise, as soon as you will do it bright on the edges, it will just flat. The moon usually feels like it's flat, but it's not. So if we want that user feels it as a sphere, first of all, we are drawing the sphere. So sphere should be a bit blurred up to what it has near it. So it's here, what in the front should be slightly sharper. Some details can be sharper than its edge. I don't know what is happening here, but so if we want something, okay, and I'll just, and of course we need a reflex. So then it's not that bad to give it. So I mean, I don't want to show how to draw sphere, sorry, but it's what makes the volume. I'm just playing it with it. So it gives it a volume, and this also, the volume is a physics, and it's more about how it makes interesting, and then it stopped being flat. Oops, I have I will just group it. Okay. So it's just stopping being flat. It becomes interesting because you light has more becomes a logic, and then it becomes interesting itself, and then you have a tool from what you can go back. You can make it. You can make user fields once back. So use it. Think. So main idea here. Think when you have something too separate, too bright. Always ask yourself, am I sure that it should be that bright? Or how bright is it up to what I already have? Because in the end, nothing should be brighter than this, unfortunately. Otherwise, it's a different goal. I mean, for now, as I said, we have a goal that we have this as a main. If we have the magic in them as a main, we might better to do this. I will hide its eyes from the light to feel the darkness. And maybe even, and of course it won't have that, and of course it won't have that stuff. Oh, it's perfect timing. Actually, it's called my mom, so yeah, she knows how to make it better, right? Uh, I have to answer, sorry. It's just a perfect timing. Okay, I hope she won't call again. because because my webcam is is Google in a Google Meet, you know. So yeah, sorry for that. And uh, okay, so yeah, there's the stuff. It was blue. It's also fun to get, you know, in the black to pick some tone to get inside. So focus with tone, focus with lines, and yeah, as you see, it's in shadow, but it has a nice coloring. But yeah, for sure, I don't want to rebuild the logic here, and if I would do just maybe not that bright this part as well, because it's not. It will be reflex from the shadowing and so on. So I won't do this. It already has its shadows, but of course, by the way, and it's not the best worst things which I did actually, because if we have the bright light over there, it should point us that here we will have a darker shadow maybe even. And it won't be that dark here, but it can work actually. Why not? It can actually work. Oops. Let's make it maybe not that bright. Yeah, yeah, a bit over coloring, but yeah, it's more about the goals and what we want to skip. But I would say it's not that bad. I would say it can work also. Think of where we have the source of light. It also can help you a lot because it also gives you a volume. As I said here, so if you have light somewhere here, it's not worth idea to give it more some nice stuff which will help you also, because if you did it already, I see, very nice, very nice, but even so, ah it's not that obvious. I because bright light makes you makes a drop shadows, so I would say maybe some, so it's not the worst idea to get some more shadows here actually, because of this part. Because of this book, I mean. And it also gives you a possibility of, oh, I don't have a screen webcam right now, but as an office, but yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. I need just to make slightly brighter on the front. That's what I want to reach. Okay, it's let's say like this. Because right now I don't get, let's just skip everything what I did because yeah, too much. Of course you work with layers and etc. But on overdrawing, I'll just want to point out this. Okay, I'll do it with the pen because I'm not feel comfortable right now. I feel like not nervous, but yeah, I want to show it in a better way, but I feel like it will be much faster than I will make it like hand drawing. Because masking is very cool stuff. Masking, pen stuff, it makes it sharp, sharp stuff, you know. So I'm in this part. So for it will take us to a point where how is it works actually? How much is it soft? How much is it soft? Because if we have light from the bottom, why is blue actually? My question, why is blue? Because it's behind, right? So then we need to show something over here. Oh, now this tone is fine for me, and it will end like somewhere here because the book is not showing us there. Yeah, I made the mistake here, right? Okay. And not over bright the background. I mean, maybe you saw the cool stuff actually about the masking everything. Like, take a bit of your background on the separate layer and make it like everything like this. A bit. No, maybe I'm doing too much just to present it. So, and the cool stuff, you can just do it with all this stuff, everything what is backwards. Not too much, not too much. But it will give you a bit of better understanding what should be really behind. So it's masking of what should be really behind, because sometimes you want everything to show everything to make it as bright as better, but we missing the volume. Absolutely, we're starting to miss the volume that way, because it's if this one is the same brightness as this one, it's not equal. I mean, it shouldn't be equal because one of your legs is quite behind, and we can't make focus on both. That's a priority. So see, yeah, for sure. From the first try, it looks like, okay, you killed my artwork. But if I wouldn't do this, that's how we save the volume. Even maybe just slightly backwards here. Make the middle one still the same. So, because what I see now, the contrast of these is quite high. Contrast of these is quite high. Even these and backwards is super saturated. So, of course, we have sometimes references, etc. But if we do a volume, it's better to a bit separate again from what we really want to what we want less. And the end of the stuff is better to make it slightly less than our main point. So maybe I'm doing the too much contrast. Of course, it's my eye, it's my vision for now. But what is important there is maybe I have wrong, by the way. Maybe I have wrong screen stuff. Let me. Okay, let me know, guys, if you need different screens casting. I mean, how it was while I was working by this time, because it was slightly lower, but I see actually it's let me just, okay, and I want it slightly higher a bit. Okay, now it's better. Looks better to me quite. So now because usually I work like this, but you could see all the screen. So to me it's like we have less noise, and I would even make some brightness here even lower as well, just to point out that we have a book here, because we still need let me back it. Okay, I already deleted I might already deleted the shadows here from the book. It should be shadows, otherwise it should be light. But in both ways, we have to somehow deal with the volume of this bottle. Shadow from the bottle can be same in both ways, because if we have light from here or we have light from there, somewhere we should less sharp stuff. So in total, I like it, but for sure, artwork is amazing. But that's how I see it can be better. No, not everywhere the same color. Just play a bit more with what you already have to make it kind of less saturated, and then make it back, because you have layering. You can even work with masking if you are working about Photoshop. We can do a mask there. Maybe I need to really different my screen, like like to show you maybe layers a bit. So I'm just doing a mask, right? And I can play with it how much I wanted. And I also, the cool stuff, what I like a lot, it's, I'd say easy, I would say it's kind of cheap tip, but even so, I like it a lot. I'll make my screen a bit smaller. Bit. It's here. See? It makes our light stuff more transparent, but in a way that it keeps uh, it's better to see. Maybe it's not that good for contrast now. Let me show you. It's not the worst part, I guess. Okay, I'll just merge it and try once more, because I want to make the shadows like, see. Uh, so you can control with Alt. You can like skip part of darks up to the gradient. So for example, backwards, right? We can reveal all darks in the underlayer layer or current layer. So and it will give us hard transition. But if we want something in between, we need to make it Alt and just see it gives us back our back. I might deleted all the shadows previously. So if we want to make something back, we can play with it to see how it was, or maybe not that much, and more control over where we want something darker or not. So overall, I already did how I wanted, so I don't see any point of doing it now. But if we would do, for example, I want let's say shadows here, more shadows here, for example. It's not the best way right now, but I just want to show how it's work. Because we have light here, and I want more control over it a bit. And then let's see how it works. Now it's just appears suddenly, but we want it smooth. And my favorite part is under layering. So we can kind of just skip, see? We can just reveal what is under layer, and it will looks like we are shaping it. And if it's too much contrast for us, we can make it slightly lower. So it's like 3D, it's volume. So this way it will be like goes by the shape visually. That's my main goal. So you don't need to overdraw it and fight for that contrast where it will be like looks like automatically done. See the difference? and more contrast to the eyes a bit too much, I would say. Yeah, we don't want to break this eyes for sure. So this is how I feel it. I deleted, sorry, my previous layers, but my main goal was also to give you understanding of what we have as a priority here. Yeah, it's too much for sure for now because we have too much layers for darkening its face. Sorry for that. But even so, it's not that bad because yeah, no, it's bad. For to me, in my opinion, this part for now looks the way I showed it is fine, but right now we need to take it out. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much. And let's go further. Let's go further. Ah, because I have a group here. Yeah. Yeah, back in the day. Now what we have in front is we have a book, then face, then scepter, and the first maybe we don't even need this or we need to more detailed look, but now we have what is in front is brighter, everything is more grayer or lower. So this is how contrast work. We can even more if you want a better contrast, but always remember, if you want more volume, a better volume, always think what is in focus, then everything other. What is near you is more darker and sharper. And the same about saturation, and always think about lines. If you made this, for example, this line too dark, let me be more clear in a second. If you will make this line too dark, too much contrast here, it will break your composition because it will give you a noise. It will take everything from you. This part, it will give you too much. It's not interesting to do it, and that's why we can give detalization. It's great to have nice details if you work, but remember about what is the main. Maybe sometimes if it's not something important, I mean for a concept, or we are not talking about for 3D, but sometimes it's even better to leave it flat or without details. Again, it's not about this part, it's just a tips which you can think of. Should I really need to get to the details? By the way, great stuff, because it's really perfect detalization of what we have backwards due to what we have on the front. So it's the main themes from for this artwork. Let's look around for just a bit more. I don't want to make it too long. If you like what I just did, like and subscribe. And if I missed work which you wanted me to see, please let me know in comments. If you have now right work or you have something in mind, we can have a talk maybe. If you feel that if you feel some bad emotions, you can DM me, please. I will try to help you. Whatever. Work is amazing because of hard work, and I really appreciate everything what I'm seeing now. Thanks a lot for hard work. And let's go through just two more works which I see from the start. It's like something what I see as an art goal for this portfolio, as I feel now, is the banner. Because when you see this, and I don't get what are you doing in life, I think this part should be about you above. Otherwise, it should be your best artwork or your top best artwork which you want to do in your life, because it's your main like face, and after you're showing up your latest artworks. So to me, I got that you like these gas and etc. It's very important. But if you were if you want to share it, it's fine, absolutely. If we are talking about the portfolio which is sent to me or to somebody or to an art studio, I would prefer to see your best is here, or maybe something special about what you're gonna do in the studio. That's my main thing, because everyone, like, sometimes artworks not going through manager because he just see, okay, it's a fine arts, and then one picture of looks like in casual games, but other is like, okay, it's a concept for a film made painting, and and they somehow, I'm really sure it's not about me, somehow they sometimes keeps very nice stuff, which I personally would like more closer because I got an eye on it. But sometimes they just keep, they see this one, and she said, sometimes they tell me like, okay, it was main painting and just pencils. And that's what I get in. So that's why a guide not going through. Sometimes it's just a tip. That's how it works. I don't know. But don't worry. Let's just see how it can make something to fix more. So okay, it looks like oil painting, and maybe, aha, I see. And you made a, it's a process of creating. It's always very hard. I very appreciate that you are doing this. It's just such a ASMR stuff. Yeah. So as a sketch, as a landscape, it's very cool stuff. I like the silhouette actually. From first look, what I would like to see here is maybe lights. I mean, uh, I would just it's my personal, because it's look a bit simple. I would just not do the landscape process, but make it as a etude, like something. Color sketch, name it somehow different, because when I see the landscape, when I'm thinking more about a bit more about feeling, higher detailization or something, because it looks a bit flat. It's like personal part, but I really like the lines here. I really like the architecture here. Something what I'm talking about is, as I said, it's not about just my feelings. I just want to share the reference of what I'm talking about. So landscape sketches, which looks, it's about like sunny stuff, or it should be a sunrise or sunshade. Uh, just not to point out something exact, but in a way, a bit more details, maybe some which will point you, because now what I see here, why I said it's a bit, to me, I want a bit more details here. Here, I like looking at it, and in the middle of the composition here, we need a bit more detail than all other stuff. And if we do flat and flat here and just few stuff to point out, just windows is usually not enough. We need to show something to break, something as a story to share. So okay, birds flying here and birds flying there. So let's go. Uh, I'll just make a screenshot just just to go on with the nice artworks. So about the lines, right? First we see somehow the lines. Very good lines, very straight ones. But do we really want them to show that hard? Because to me, seagulls is more than interesting here. We want to show how they look, and that's exactly how we want eyesight, how we want user to see us. And this line is also very powerful. But also up to what we want to see, this line or seagulls, which makes lines from itself. So see, we have a bit of conflict in the higher state. Also, let's not skip this powerful line. It's very powerful, this. So everything actually, from what I just drawn, everything leads us to here. So from composition, not just my stuff, and yeah, and something here, but this line, this triangle is very powerful as well. But because of these two lines, it makes us big, smaller, and we want something here. That's how it works to me. Not to me even. You see, it's the physics flows us down to this part, and this a bit goes also like almost here. It goes here, but in the end it's still ricochet here. So everything I need here is just a quick analysis. Okay, what I did here. So all I want is give some details here in this part, which will be for example, I don't want to make any fires or but we have some nice details here. I'll just we just need to beat it. I mean, let's make here twice more, something like this, and I don't know, maybe. So build a castle in this point. maybe some seagulls already there, for example. I don't know, but create something what about from what you already have. But of course, if we work with the reference, we need to find something out. We need to find the detail for why we love this landscape, why we want to user stay here. But sometimes it's not that obvious, of course. But the cool stuff here is everything help if you do like this. All other stuff which you already did will help you to point us here. We don't need any details here, otherwise it's just point it there and make other stuff look a bit less contrast, slightly less, because if we have, as I said, always check, do we have the same here and here? If we have the same, make something slightly different, slightly, not too much. It shouldn't be that much contrast, but slightly, and it will lose as soon as we will skip this conflict. Also, this line was too powerful. I want to go it in the shadow a bit. I don't want to change anything, but just slightly in the shadow, or make this contrast. It's a super dark stuff actually. It gives a super high contrast to this part. I will just make it okay. We have very nice clouds there, and maybe let's do a half of what we already have. Just a bit. Just a bit. It's air perspective. It's fine to give it a bit more that we wanted. It's fine because we need. Okay, it's too much lines right now. We didn't want to break it. We just want a gradient, right, from the okay, and it will give also us a volume for our seagulls, by the way. See, and if it's this, what is, by the way, what is should be brighter there or here? Sometimes it's better to do in that point which we need slightly less, slightly. Maybe I did it too much just to point you out. Slightly less, and of course we don't want any sharp stuff. Yeah, we can make it back if you want, but it should lose by the sharpness. It should lose to us our seagulls. So that's how it can work. And this is also has a great silhouette, by the way. It has a great silhouette. I like it. Maybe slightly darker can help it. Maybe. I'm not sure. Let's try. Slightly, very slightly, because if we go to dark and black and white, see here it's always also almost the same, and the main problem is here, as I said, as I felt. Like, see, it's almost the same. So making it this part or a bit just in the bottom, oh no, sorry, slightly lighter. Slightly lighter. And here, and here, very slightly darker, very slightly. I want to kick this super dark. I just want to kick it and make other bright stuff a bit darker. How to show it to you? Okay. So we will have, again, we will have a high contrast here, and I would just double check if we in the name of our focus, we are not about talking art because it doesn't has rules, but in a way of how we work with focus for concepts, focus for games. It's always about like how we control user. So I would recommend to kick a bit of light from here and here because it makes slightly noise, and losing to what we want more, it's better. No, but it's not a rule. It's not a rule. We need to see, do we kill artwork actually? Because otherwise this noise inside of coloring, it would be very good. But to me, kicking a bit of over dark stuff will make much better focus on what we really need. See? Yeah, and for sure I did a quite noisy here, but actually we can do whatever here because we have all the lines. As I said, we had the main. We decided to make it as a goal here, as a something interesting. What we don't understand here, but it's just splatters. It can be anything like here. I just want here a magic stuff. Whatever can be there. It's just how it will work more clearer and more interesting, even if it's small, because now it has a goal. All the lines point to something, not to empty, boring space. That's how composition should work. Everything should point to something. Now we have idea, not just castle, but why castle is interesting. We can be gates. Maybe we need a gates here. Maybe it's crushed. Maybe it's a beautiful stone part. So we need give noise to hear kind of cool detail, very nice build, but spend more time where to put a hand to give something to catch your eye, and then you will, like, your user will understand that it's sketch, but how it's well done, why, I don't know, but because of everything point to your detail, which you did it perfectly. That's or not a detail, but something what is could be interesting. That's main point. Make fun to your viewer. Okay, let's go back then. Great work. Well done. And one more stuff I want to share as a quick stuff because I can do it all day. I love it, but not overwhelming. Just a quick stuff. It's a shadows and the color in the shadows. Just what I see now. It's beautiful. I like this guy. That's strong bird, and that's shadows and actually which I'll just show you what can be done better, what can be done in other way with this bird to give a better visual, to give better understanding how good is it. Because sketch is, I would say sketch shows us this guy less noisy, less clearer, and this great silhouette of the bird, and suddenly I see that it's much harder, it becomes much harder to get what is there, because everything is an object. I'll just point you here backwards in this part. So it's I know how it struggles. So I also struggling a lot with the hair. So do it as a sphere, do it as a shadows and the light source. So okay, we have a light source from somewhere here. So it's very good that we have a simple from simple to hard. And of course I need some I'm not really good. That's how I work. I'm really not good with the hair and sometimes with the color even. So I'm always looking for inspiration for something to to learn from. So that's exactly. I'm doing it from Pinterest. I just took it can be any random, but something what will help me to get the shape of some stuff and etc. So what I would do right now is to point you on the light source. So we can do whatever, but the easiest part is to just give some sharp stuff like here, see? So let's do like kind of the same. We can do it with this, and let's say we want this color, whatever. Let's say we want this color. I won't work right now with the color. I don't say it's best color for this or bad or something. I just point you. We are talking about the shape. We can even go back into. We can go into black and dark mode. Maybe it's if it's even better way, because in this way we won't fight with the color. We will just go with the shapes. Here our shapes are so yummy, right? And this we have like a blue read, but we the shape is not clear as here, right? Because here we have kind of light. Yeah, let's find the main silhouette of light. So I want kind of the same here. I want really the same. Let's just do the same part. And of course, shapes is like lighting from the right, and we will lose it somewhere, I guess, somewhere here. So after that, I will just okay. So closer to a light, dark, brighter and darker, and I will skip it a bit in the middle. Yeah. And of course, we have here a break in shadow, like the top one where we need to make it darker on the edge, and then we have a reflex from the bottom, from the skin, or from the, as we see, from this part, from this. So it will be, in our case, it will be slightly darker, not too much maybe, up to middle point, middle color. So we can also make it like something in the middle, not the dark, not the, and drop shadow. Drop shadow from the bird. Drop shadow from the bird. Not the thing here, we don't want to point out where it ends, because otherwise we will have to like stroke. It's not that style where we need to stroke as on the sketch. Also, we need to remember that we want to show first of all face, and on the after we want to our user look on the maybe here, if we will lucky. If we not, I would better show his great hand, and as it goes here, we have a conflict of what I want to show, the X or the detailization of his back ponytail. That's a usual conflict. What you really want, because here we see that we have one more guy who will who will break our movement to our goal, because we have a dark silhouette of this dark, which conflicts with dark detailization with dark silhouette of this, and suddenly we have a super over bright stuff which breaks us uh, bright silhouette, which also we have here, and will make a noise us, and will take all the light from here and here. It's very important. If by the way, as I've gone to there, if you do that bright background, be ready that you need a like maybe here I will find a nice way. I mean, it's about your really bright light from the backwards. You need to prepare all your stuff in the middle point to be really dark, because it's I don't remember then how it calls in English, sorry, but it's a contre-jour. It's a contre-jour. So it's like you are walking on the sun when sun is down. You know, you're a cowboy. You need to be prepared that your guy will be cowboy in this position. Otherwise, there is no light logic here. You need a okay. Even if you do a source light there, you need it's like really uh, well done, because okay, we have a light here somewhere here from the top, right? But this part is no, it will be really, you need to really find nice reference here, because you can't do it like this. You really need to make it a better way here. I mean, to lose you need to lose everything here because of this light, because you will have a focus more. You will need to get more focus here because it's more closer to you, and the same is here. As it's on bright, as it's closer to a brighter side, you can't do the same stuff. You just can't do the same stuff. You need to present what is closer and what is more important in a darker way, and don't hesitate to do it all the time. That is how the easiest way to not overdark your work. Otherwise, you will do everything dark, everything dark. You will lose what is important, what is not, and how to control it. Because if you do everything super dark, you don't have a tool anymore to make something darker, right? So it's the end, absolutely the end. But if you work in the midtones, don't worry. The contrast and your like we see here, I can actually even show it. For example, I can. This way is very nice and calm, but it still has. Maybe it's not work like that, right? I'm not sure how. Can I? Can I just Control C and yeah, yeah. So by the way, we can just copy paste contrast which we like already, right? So sometimes even so it breaks us. See, it's super over brightened, so we have like this bright part. But even here, nothing will be such darker. We need. It's really good to work with that. And even, for example, this artwork, also it has all the same, but here will be darker. I mean, if you want to point it here, otherwise you need a lot of bright stuff around to make these triangles be in focus. And when we work with the big body, we need to really think which parts of body is more important. And again, we are coming back to focus, right? So first of all, here we need to get back a bit to what we want to, where we want to focus. I just showed that before. I just showed you the. Did I delete everything? No, no, it's here. First of all, I showed you what was in my main visual, and then going more inside. So my main part was like we don't see what's going on there. So to make this part better, I would make it more light, more shape. We need to get how it's shaped. So when I got to this shape, as here, for example, I got that we can actually make it like one tone. So we are learning now. I'm learning with you now. And then this shape goes downwards. So I make it just as simple as possible as I understand it. So like here, see middle tone and quite dark there. But as it has its own tone, we shouldn't do like this. It will, let's don't forget about reflex. So we have like, I don't know about the colors right now. Not that bad actually, not that bad. So now we have the main tones and we can just go on with some different details. So we can't do everything the same. So it's not, otherwise we will have not the right lines. But it should be flat, or we need to really know the anatomy of this. As you did here, for example, if we want to make it like this, it's better to give the main part. I mean, I would look for references right now if I would. So if it's not shaved, if it's quite long, and maybe this references is really not that bad, but see, we have parts of interest. It makes us looks bird really physically interesting because we understand that it's how it's shaped. If we don't understand how it's shaped, it will be a mess. So I would make it by parts. Let's say I want, I made it here, see, so this part. So let's say it's long, so we need just a couple of modules, yeah, it will be a module. This module here, plates in 3D we do it with the plates, right? And let's say the same color, maybe a bit darker. I would do a bit darker. Yeah, more like this. And about coloring right now. Color. Try to use always the same color but dark, not black but dark, and it will help you on the start. Then, if you need to make it not that saturated, just use the main color of what is around. That's the thing. And after that, use a bit of color closer to what you light have. So it's like easy, but not in the full, not on the full. Like if you have a light like this, of course you will break it absolutely. Otherwise, you will need to make it really close to your stuff, and you will need to, I don't know, maybe work even in a color dodge, and then yeah, it will be awful still because you will need a lot of nice stuff. I mean, coloristics. I mean, oh, because then we need a middle shadowing and etc. I don't want to review it. We can touch it later actually because it will take us time how to make it over bright and stuff and so on about coloring. But what I would recommend you is to work a bit more with saturated shapes, sharp shapes. That's what my goal is. Okay, let's as I said, when I work with artists, for example, who don't understand me, for example, everything what I just showing you, he just don't get. For example, I had that. It's fine. It's fine. I'm nobody's like like it happens when I talk and I don't get to the goal, and for some reason I don't know, maybe I explain in the wrong way or something something is not enough by this. For example, my tips not working for some reason, or everything what I worked is not working for this artist, for example. So what I say, find the most thing what you liked, or finds and sorry and find for sure we need to find a reference. Always try to look for reference whatever you do. Whatever you do, you will learn. Even if in this artist you think is not that good as you, but his artwork is quite nice, you can learn from him. And the drop in shadows, first of all, yeah, light, and then we look for drop in shadows. I missed it right now. So we trying to get all the drop in shadows. It can be in multiply, it can be darker, whatever you like. We need all the drop in shadows. See here, it's a drop shadow. See inside, and the same is here, drop shadow, and it's slightly more contrast on the edges as usual, and more color inside. So we want to see here, as we have light from the top right, right? So like here, so our shadow will be very slightly here and mostly here, like this something, and maybe even like this, goes like this, maybe somewhere inside of it. Okay, so our main contrast will be here, and I'll do it like 20-20%, like once, two. That's it. Skip it, skip it, pop, 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 and maybe like a bit more shadows here, up. But only on the edges, remember, because here we don't have it that bright. And again, what we want more, this or this? If it's will be too much dark and too much sharp, it will break. We still need to keep it sharper there, and the same is here. See, uh, if we want to point all our views in the middle of his chest for some reason here, we really need to, if you want like that, of course, if we want, we need to make this something important. For example, we are presenting a new artifact in some kind of game, so we need to make it bright, make it something special, or like a secret. Okay, why we have here some stuff. Otherwise, if it's not for us even that interesting, and we didn't want to detail it that much, the best way is to do something brighter over here, as was on that character cartoonish one. So and then we proceed, and then we can proceed. So yeah, dark over dark stroke stuff. It's very important to understand why and up to what you are doing it that dark. For example, if we want, it's very easy to check. It's very easy to check. We just make it why it's not drawing? Maybe I have some lasso here. Yeah. For example, I'll do like what we already have. And this one. So my goal, for example, is to show new detail for as this one, for example. That was my goal. So if I'll do something dark or over dark here, I will crash my idea. I will crash my idea. And or for example here, of course we are talking right. See, so and of course if I will have something oversaturated over there, it will crash my idea. So, but even so, it's nice to have something uh, uh, prioritized. That's important. So I would say it's also good practice after you did everything. Double check what is your main priority, what is your second, and what is your third. And after that, you can do the same what I'm doing right now. You can do the same, absolutely. Then, for example, we can work with the masking or whatever. Yeah, I'll did too much for sure. I'll did too much, but I just want to show it's like in a usual way, as I showed before, right? So we are just doing. Maybe I need, yeah, like this. So how much oops, how much? Maybe I want it not that much. The my main layer slightly goes from the edges. We don't need that edges, remember? And now let's work with our underlayer. So for example, I want some shadows make back. I want some shadows make back. And let's work with alt a bit. Maybe not that much. Not that much back, right? Because if I work with too much, maybe I already a bit back. Yeah. And then again and again. So few times like this, and it will work in a different way with a different volume. This now works much closer. Even so, it's over darker to me. Here, I would maybe something like need a bit more love here to point out us, and now it's point us here. So again, this is the closer one, and we wanted to show, for example, this part. So I would flatten it even here. It's such a high detailization also. So I would make it maybe what we already have is like something in the middle. And what is, as we have something wide there, why not to make it just bright silhouette? Maybe not that much. But I don't want to make it blurry really, but it can help us as well. It can help us. Because I like this something interesting in details and this part, but this part has conflict with this part. So I would make this part as a more separate. Now it's like really point us here, and this I don't want, for example, to as there is no that much interesting as his armor and hand, so I would also, and this is like negative space. Let's check the negative space. This part, as I said, is quite bright. I will just do it as they say, or make it even darker. But as you already wanted, as I got, you wanted to show the X, so we need to really simplify his hair, or maybe even cut it. Maybe there is no need to make it that big. I don't know. Let's try. Maybe I'm wrong. But by the silhouette, by the way, I like that it goes like here, like there, and it goes, maybe we need to make it back a bit. So I would just make it back here, maybe. And again, the shape, I'm not sure that if we have this shape above, we will see this part. I would make maybe like something. It's maybe it's not even the best solution, but it's something quick. Okay, let's just keep it. Let's, as I said, make it simplify. And for sure, I wouldn't do this additional detail here as I want X. We need to simplify it as much as possible. So let's say this will go darker. and this will go darker as well, because we need the bright stuff here for X solution. So then we can point us it can point us here and there. See, it can point us here, there, whatever. Wait a sec. So um, okay. Yeah, that's the main point. Uh, Focus, too much dark, and coloring. So about the coloring, it's just about practice. You need to find your way to find your colors and what you like. But the main part here is my first impression was like, okay, it's dark and I don't see shape. Maybe if the shape would be nice, I wouldn't tell about the color. But impression was like too much blacks. Too much blacks. I feel like there is no understanding of color, or it can be done in a way I've showed just now. So on the edges, if you want color work or light work, just make some overbright stuff on the edges of the shadow. So here, for example, we can point out over saturated a bit. For example, here, but not over bright, over saturated. And here, you can make a slight gradient. See, like that. And it will make all this stuff like over quite more saturated. And yeah, it's better to work with exact part, but it's a short tip which will bring this part to a much better solution. So yeah, for sure we need exactly the same what I did right now. So the same gradient. It can be any color, but I would recommend to start working with a bit more with the dark and blacks here as well, and then come back to it can be colored or not colored. It's less important than shape, I would say. Color is much less important to me. But I would better help only with the color than with shape and the color. So shape is easier, in my opinion, to find out how it works, how the light works, how some stylization can help you with some stuff. So and of course, so when you understand how it grows, how it works, where it goes, it's also very important, because if you do this sharp, it means it's pointed on us. If we go this sharp, otherwise we can't see it, because let's say we are working with 3D. How it work? This part. So this light goes from here. I'm just drawing a 3D box, right? And dark there. See? So let's draw some volume lines. And this one goes, that's how I look, I feel it. So this one goes, yeah, to this, and this goes to them, to me, to camera, like look like, and this goes like here. So it's also can work in a better way if we make the shape slightly different, because here it works way better, because we didn't do we didn't do the same, because it's light and shadow how it works. So I just missed it. I just make this one, and this already looks like it's somewhere far away from us, really far away from us, and we can make it even brighter. Like, we can, as I said, if you don't know how it works, just make it slightly as your background, and then make it back like on hull. Don't worry. But better to lose on the background but win on the details. So I hope these small tips will really help you. Uh, I really I really love to hear a good feedback from you for sure. But whatever, if you have more questions, please give me a comments. Maybe I will make a better video, more. Maybe I review some stuff more or in a better way. If you guys liked it, please like it and subscribe. It's really uh, like a lot of work for artists who work there. I would to applause for your hard work. If you are in looking for work, please don't give up. We love you. I'm sure there are a lot of just try and more and do, and you will find yourself. Otherwise, I'm just hope you get fun on your path. That's our main goal, to have fun and make it better. Thank you guys a lot. Thank you for your patience, and please let me know what tips works for you the best. Please try it, and see you next time, guys. Thank you so much.
Я, конечно, все понимаю, но яичник прям слишком далеко дошел. Я, конечно, все понимаю, но это уже перебор для яичника. Ну, это новый шаг, конечно, для искусственного интеллекта. Ну, привет. Алло, как дела? О, круто. Я записал. А, да, сейчас монтаж. Все, пошел. Пошел. Сказал взять телефон. Пока.